North American powers have carved out and taken the timber, the bauxite. They have taken out of these countries. These countries are not underdeveloped. They're overexploited. They're overexploited. They're overexploited.
It is 19 hours 23 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to the Friday edition of the LALL Show right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. It is the radio with a difference, and it is my pleasure to introduce the man of the moment who will make tonight's presentation, after which we will take your calls. Those telephone numbers, rather, they are 226-745-324 and 622-2222 or 624-6456. With that said, I hand you over to the man of the moment who will make his Friday presentation. Sir, namaste, and the floor is yours.
Namaste. Namaste, Miss Harris. I miss Bernard. I'm not seeing Bernard. I hope Bernard didn't give us up. I was looking for him for the last 10 minutes, and I don't know where he is. But maybe he'll walk in a short while. Let's get going with tonight's program. It's Friday. It's Kiana's birthday. Kiana Wilberg. Kiana, if you're listening, I just want to say happy birthday to you, my dear. I wish you the very best, with God's richest blessings upon you. Have a good one. If you plan going out tonight, and if you plan to get drunk,
Take me.
keep room for me. I want to be there. No, not you, Joshua. I am begging for myself, bro. I can't beg for two people. Come on. Right? All right. Once again, happy birthday, Kiana. Before I begin my program tonight, I want to say thanks to all the well-wishers who thanked me for the work I'm doing. And let me say this. I am doing what I was placed here to do and what my conscience compels me to do. That's all I'm doing, Ms. Harris. I am only the messenger. I'm not the message. I'm the messenger. You know, Ms. Harris, I could not believe my ears when the caller said to me Wednesday night that a social media post that some idiot, some fool put up with false and nonsensical comparisons between Guyana's oil deal and Suriname ended up on the Ministry of Natural Resources Facebook page.
Wow.
I could not believe that.
Shocking.
I told the caller he was joking. The ministry will not put up such dotishness on the government official Facebook page of the Natural Resources. Uncle and Auntie, I had to see it for myself. 10 minutes after my Wednesday night program, Ms. Harris, the post was removed from the ministry's page.
Wow. Shame.
But one of my reporters had already taken a screenshot of it. My God. Either the Minister of Natural Resources or Vice President Jagde was listening to this program and instructed them to take it off.
Yep.
These are the misleading, deceptive, and tricky games the people y'all staying on your finger for is playing with y'all present and future livelihoods. Let me tell you, Ms. Harris, what the post said with the comparison that was done between Guyana and Suriname oil deal. The donkey who put up the post and the ministry put them up on their website Say 4 oil projects approved in Guyana and 2 are already producing, giving Guyana about $4 billion a year. While Suriname hasn't approved any project yet, and so that they're not getting any money at present. You hear the kind of comparison these people comparing?
Nonsense.
Uncle, that is how these donkeys comparing an oil deal with 2 countries. Then them say, Ms. Harris, Exxon done invest over 28 billion US in Guyana's oil field and no money invested in Suriname oil field. Can you believe this is how these people comparing 2 oil deals?
I know.
Huh?
Sad. And that's on the ministry's
Hmm?
website.
Then they went further, Ms. Harris, to say on the issue of liability coverage. When an oil spill occurs, the oil companies will take care of Guyana and Suriname. The clown doesn't know that, that Suriname is fully protected of any oil spill, while Guyana government kicked out the motion Patterson carried in Parliament last week. He doesn't know that. But he said in the comparison how both countries are well protected. They also say how Guyana drilled 60 oil wells already in Suriname and drill any yet.
How much it costs?
This is how they're comparing the 2 oil deals, and the ministry using that to push it down we throat on their website. Suriname getting 62.25% total take from their oil fields, while Guyana getting 11%. And that's nowhere in the comparison in the post Vikram Bharat Ministry Facebook page had. That wasn't there. I wonder if this is the way he used to teach his students to do comparisons in school when he was a headmaster. You know, Miss Harris, these things sick your mind, you know. It sick your soul sometimes when you hear and see these things.
Imagine living.
Uncle and auntie who have access to to our Facebook page, look, we put up the screenshot that they had on the ministry. God Almighty have to help this nation with these deceivers who are bent on misleading, deceiving, raping and robbing you, the poor people of this country. And they will do anything. Miss Harris, these people will do anything to continue deceiving you,
Yes.
destroying your future with this chronic dishonesty, man. Where is the end? When will they stop? A fisherman called me yesterday saying, thank you, LALL, for opening up our eyes, for educating us. We didn't have a clue what the politicians doing to us in this country. The fisherman said to me, my program does usually be their discussions whenever they meet for a drink or a gaff. He then said to me that the agriculture minister said both owners engaged in dishonest behavior will be banned from receiving cash grants. Mohammed Mustafa, the agriculture minister, talking about dishonesty. And he sits in a party and a national government that is riddled from top to bottom with dishonesty
And corruption.
and corruption. With, of course, with very few exceptions in it. He said the fishermen them didn't tell the minister anything when he talked about dishonesty. But I did tell the fisherman, they should have told him dishonest politicians should be sent to prison without any court trial for thieving, even from the cash grants they're giving out, much as the projects them are embarking on. Every day, uncle, every day, auntie, as I sit in the newsroom, Kaieteur newsroom, to discuss the issues we're dealing with and the stories we're carrying the next day, it aches my heart. Every single day when you hear the amount of money these people spending and what they're spending it on, I can't help it but use some unhealthy language in that newsroom. That is how painful and sickening it has gotten in this country. Let me share some examples of how their dishonesty has become their religion and way of life in this country. The politicians' religion and way of life in this country. Yesterday, only yesterday, I saw they are building an office for the DPP in Region 2. And the engineer said the office will cost 64 million Guyana dollar. I had to ask the reporter if the engineer building a skyscraper or the office they're building for the DPP is lined with diamond or gold. I had promised a while now to do a special program to explain to you guys how government after government using projects to swindle every one of us. Having seen the $64 million they're going to spend to build an office for the DPP, drive me to do tonight's program. Uncle and auntie, every project they put on is not corruption. It's massive corruption. It's wholesale banditry. It's worse than kick down door bandits who just come in your house, rape, rob, and kill you. Your family, I mean. Look around in your neighborhood, auntie. Look around in the villages where you live, uncle, and you will see how people who can't hold a saw properly or hammer a nail overnight become rich on government contracts. Imagine a barber turned contractor overnight because of who hair he used to cut. Made millions overnight on government contracts. You guys got to look around and see how most of the government engineers living, man. Miss Harris?
The kings.
See what they're driving and ask them how their salaries give them those things.
Impossible. Like the police.
And I ain't even touched the politicians. I ain't said nothing about them yet. They are the kingpins behind everything, the politicians. When you hear the money they pay to build a school, renovate a hospital, build a lab at the labs, a guard hut, you'd want to think they're building a skyscraper in New York City. When you see the money, uncle and auntie, they're spending on drug contracts for the hospitals and health centers. You believe they're buying drugs for all the people in South America plus Africa. Yes, this is what is happening in this country. $64 million for building an office in Region 2. Man, these things sick your stomach. It really sick your stomach, uncle. Then Wednesday, we carried a story in which the government is going to spend $1.4 billion. That is not 100 million. That's 1,400 million to rebuild the packaging plant. They removed from Enmore to Albion. Miss Harris, I got to give you guys a little rundown or background on that packaging plant. It was commissioned under Ramotar presidency and Robert Prasad stewardship. Yes, for 12.5 million American dollars. I remember, Miss Harris, sending my reporters to get the make and model of the machines and a photograph of this packaging plant. And when they turn up, the security locked them out the gate. I did get the make and model of the machines, and what we found out was shocking. Guess how much they paid for one of the machines? 125,000 US dollar. The 5 what they buy is just over $500,000. And the building basically is a zinc bond that will cost no more than $1 million US dollar. But you know, Ms. Harris, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's double it to 2 million US. The entire plant could have been built for less than 2.5 million US. Guyana paid 12.5 million US. You hear what I said there, man?
6 times.
Let me repeat it, man. Something that could have cost this country 2.5 million US. Guyana paid 12.5 million US. 6 times more. And they're locking the gate for the reporters, seeking clarification. I don't have the figures. And I don't think we will ever get that figures from Gaisuku or Enmore. But I don't believe the packaging plant make back the machine money, the $500,000 machine money yet. Recently, Ms. Harris, they announced the removal of the plant to Albion. You hear me? This is just the other day, a couple months ago. They announced the removal of the same plant, the same 12.5 million US plant. Yes. And they're taking it to Albion. And guess what, Ms. Harris? They're going to spend $7 million US dollar more to rebuild and set it back. Man, you don't hear me, man. 7 million US.
18 million.
That is $1,400 million Guyana dollar. 14. No, 7 2 is 14. Yes, 14. Them take 25 acres of prime land the plant was sitting on at Enmore, plus another 25 acres of our land, and give it to a giant venture company. You hear me, Ms. Harris? Not a single cent, we are told, is coming in our pocket for that. So we lose the 12.5 million US dollar plant, and now we are going to spend another 7 million US to get the same sugar plant up and running at Albion.
Good business.
This is how they're running your country, uncle and auntie, with your assets, with your wealth. Man, you gotta love these people, eh? They remove the plant now, gotta spend more money, and then they give away the land plus the building plus 25 acre more to a foreign companies with some
Still
locals.
can't make a profit.
You gotta love these leaders, man.
18 million and they still.
You gotta love them. Those lands belong to their parents alone, so they can do whatever they want to do with it. You know, Miss Harris?
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't belong to me and you. It's the same thing they've been doing with y'all assets right across this country for a very long time now. Anything they see, or anything any one of their friends or family see and wants, man, the politicians don't care what they have to break down, dismantle or destroy to give it to them. And all this thing happening, uncle and auntie, everything happening right before your eyes. But you people don't know it, and maybe people don't see it. All these things are being reported in the Kaieteur news on a daily basis, but some of you don't read. And then because of the COVID, it's difficult to pick up a newspaper, but it's online for free if you have access to the internet. Tony, we lose 12.5 million US on the packaging plant, and now we're going to spend another 7 million to relocate it. Take 55 acres land and the building and give it away to some foreigner with a few locals inside. Well, you can't even get a little house lot. And they call that what? What they call them, Ms. Harris? Development and progress.
Yes.
They take all of your land and give it away to the foreigners for next to nothing, in which they will be making billions upon billions in their pockets from your assets, paying nothing to the Guyanese people who own it. Yes, and you government saying they will create jobs. And that is progress for Guyana.
Sad.
Sad? You call that sad? I got nice words to call it, but you just can't describe them on a national radio.
Exactly. We're on the radio.
It's the same thing they did at Vreeden Hoop, Miss Harris. They gave a big chunk of our prime property to some local people to build a shore base for the oil industry, to supply the oil people out there. That's a beautiful thing, Uncle and Auntie. I have no qualms about that. A matter of fact, I love that. Our people, me and you, should be given first preference every time there's an opportunity to make some money from this oil sector. I love that. But at the end of the day, Uncle, that prime location has a value, and it belongs to every citizen of this country. And a fair and reasonable price tag should be placed on it for all of us, Uncle. For all of us. Even if they don't have the money at present to pay us, man, at least in the future, when they will be making the billions, come on, the citizens of this country should get pay for the land they sit on. After all, it doesn't belong to them alone. It belongs to all of us, and we should be fairly compensated, reasonably compensated for it.
Handsomely.
Man, that is standard business practice all across this universe. A government just can't wake up and say, LALL take the land, or Jagdeo Harman take that. No. No. It doesn't happen that way. These are the things you guys need to know, Uncle. So when you see people living large, and their children and grandchildren living like kings and queens, is your property. They're living sweet of. After all, Uncle, every blade of grass in this country, every inch of land, every drop of oil, every ounce of gold, bauxite, Man, every crapo belongs to every Guyanese. Every Guyanese. It belongs to all of us. Not just the rich at the top that are connected to the politicians too. No, it belongs to all of us. So these lands and prime properties, when you see going into people's hand, you all stand up. You all should hold a placard and demand that we get our rightful share from it. Like I said, if it's a business and they don't have the money now to give you or to give the treasury so that we can get better roads or better drains, better schools or hospitals, let them keep it. And later down the line, as they make money, pay us. Is that too much to ask for?
No.
No, very reasonable.
Huh?
No.
Can anybody be upset with LALL
No.
for talking that?
No.
It's the same thing they did with all the prime land at Ogle and on the East Bank, where they're making the new highway. Give it away. Give it away. And I am told that most of them is given to foreigners to build hotels. Yes. To eat up your LALL money. Tonight I didn't want to talk about oil. But just because I talk about hotels, let me share an example how this will happen so you can understand how your oil money will be eaten up like nothing in the billions. Uncle, one hotel with 100 rooms at $400 or $500 a day is $40,000-$50,000 a day. Who's paying for that? And whose hands that is going into? Your oil money paying for that. And it will be going into the hands of the foreigners who own the hotel. You see whose pocket it's filling up? And whose pocket it is coming out of? Me and you, uncle. Just multiply that by 365 days. Yes. 1 year only. 50,000 is 182 million US. And that is only one hotel I'm talking about, uncle. Imagine they are building thousands of hotel rooms. Guyana is looking at no less than $1 billion that will be coming out from their oil profits, from our oil profits, as expenses for hotels going into the hands of foreign owners of all them hotels. While Jagdev was saying Guyana will have to settle. You remember Mr. Tony? He said Guyana will have to settle for a few $100 million. Yes, as we share quite a while into the future. Couple $100 million we got to settle for. And the hotel industry alone will be walking away with over $1 billion American a year from VIL. And that is what these clowns proud of. For quite a while into the future, the man said. Miss Harris, this is how profitable these land transactions are. When the government just simply say, so and so get a couple acres to build a hotel to provide jobs. You know, so I have to explain this so you people understand. When government just say, well, we give them for build a hotel and they will provide jobs. The clowns doesn't know how much billions of your money will be coming out of your country, going into the foreigners' bank book to develop their cities and their countries. These clowns doesn't understand that. Leaving our poor brothers and sisters for work security guard and collect pennies. The same thing the Jagdev government did, uncle and auntie. The same thing they did with Baishanlin. Give away half of the forest to them You guys remember the coalition government had to reverse some of these land giveaway transactions?
Yes.
Uh-huh. They were given away under Jagdeo presidency.
Yes.
Man, actually half of Guyana, Baishanlin they own. Do you know the northern, the end of Guyana, the southern part of Guyana was not supposed to be touched by any governments. It's a total reserve.
It's indigenous land, isn't it?
Right, in the indigenous land.
Yeah.
Do you know the PVP government
Give it to me.
give all away to Baishanlin? The new government, the coalition government, when them go in, they, of course, they were hot and sweaty. Yes. Full of fire. Yeah, man. Eager to change many of the things the PPP did. And them change it. They switch it around, take it away back from Baishanlin. But after a few mornings, after them sit down comfortable and getting in the swing of things, they began doing the exact thing as the PPP government.
They start going blind.
Yeah, so it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the same. When they go in was hot and sweaty, they take back that. They did want to other stuff, you know. But when they sit down a little comfortable, Miss Harris, come on, man. No. Yeah, they start smoking.
Cigar.
Yeah, cigar. Yes.
Drinking fine cognac.
Yes, and drinking fine cognac.
Eating
Yeah.
beluga caviar.
Yes, caviar.
The Chinese.
You want to hear this one?
Jets.
The coalition government gave away 700 acres of Wales estate, you know them estate land, to a company that was registered only 6 weeks in Guyana. Prior, 6 weeks prior, the company come register 6 weeks after, get 700 acre land
In 6 weeks.
in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
You can't get a house. No.
Yeah, man. The owner promised how we going to set up a coconut farm to supply the Dominican Republic with coconut water, and what he's going to do to supply the oil rigs and the jigs and so on out there. To date, go and see what was planted. Absolutely nothing.
Surprise, surprise.
What have you, the owners? What have you, the owners of these lands, gotten out of your prime lands, uncle? Auntie, did you get anything? Absolutely nothing. And whose hands it's still sitting in? Ask your corrupt politicians who give them. You gotta love Guyana. You gotta love Guyana. And you gotta love me for highlighting and bringing all these things, making it so simple for you people to understand what you have been dealing with and what you have to put up with for the remainder of your lifetime. Then another set of foreigners was in talks with NISIL under the coalition again, Miss Harris, for take over the Wales sugar factory. Telling Guyana how they're going to set up a cold storage facility to supply fruits and vegetables to the oil rigs and jigs out there. And how they will be buying all the produce from the farmers in the area. And still give them 20% ownership of the cold storage facility. You hear that? They're going to buy it and still give them 20% ownership. Yes. Them going to give the people, yes, the owner of that land 20% of their own thing. You know, it's like a man come and take meeting and say you can set up a building, right? And he can buy all my fruits and all my vegetables, and he gonna give me 20% of me own thing. Well done, man. Man, uncle and auntie, there's 1,000,001 land issue marred with corruption, skullduggery and thievery in this country. That if I am to reveal all, it will take more than a whole year, even if I do this program every night, rather than Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So let's turn to another page in the book of corruption in this country called Guyana. Ms. Harris, let's turn another page. They're building a school on the Essequibo coast, Abraham Zool Secondary School, for $585 million. I have told you guys, you can get 5 high school and more on the Essequibo coast with that money. Yes, that money can build a 6-story secondary school. And a very big one too. Far bigger than the school they would be building there. But this is what's happening in this country. Bamia in Region 10. They're building a primary school there for $346 million. Man, you know hear what I tell you that, man.
Yeah, say it again.
Bamia in Region 10. They're building a primary school there for $346 million.
Jesus Christ. 300.
A primary school for $346 million.
Wow.
You can build maybe 20 primary schools, or let's put it 10 primary schools in each one of the regions Guyana got with that money. The St. Rose's High School, uncle, government, after the government awarded it to a local contractor, this is after the government awarded to a local contractor, they're going to spend $100 million more. Yes, to get it up and running. That school is now costing us $615 million. That gotta be a 6-story skyscraper with modern technology and laboratories, Miss Harris.
Golden bathrooms.
Should I stop there now or give them more, man?
No, give us more.
All right.
Give us more.
Well, you have the Yarracabra Secondary School, where the contract was awarded for $800 million. $800 million, not $8 million, you know, man.
800.
Yes. That got to be a 10-story school. Good Hope Secondary School. Another $800 million. Man, that was another 10-story. Diamond Secondary School, a piece was burned down. They gave a contractor $70 million to build back the wing.
That's just renovation.
No, to build it back, on a little piece burned down and $70 million. $70 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
You can build a whole school.
70 million, yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
70 million, you know. And if you see the piece, buddy, if you see the piece, it would sick your stomach. This is what they're doing to you, uncle and auntie. This is what they're doing to your children too. What they're doing to you people. Only God, Glenn LALL, and some of my staff, and 2 other people, seeing it clearly. You know, Miss Harris, let me share this story. I remember Sheikh Baksh, the man who had GWI right now. He was then the education minister. He put out a release saying how they spend $300 and something million to renovate some schools during the August break. And when I saw the release, we carried the story. I sent one of my reporters to ask him to identify the schools that they spend this money on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
and the projects they did. The man got highly annoyed and asked the reporter, why you want that? Who want that? So the reporter told him, my boss, Glenn LALL. Why you want that? Why you want that? Man, you know, we never get that information until now. He upset with the reporter because the reporter asked him, how are you spending the money? New Hydroni Nursery School, Miss Harris, a nursery school, $52 million.
That's a one flat.
They all these things are flat building, one little flat. If you put $5 million house, it big.
Exactly.
It bigger than the nursery school.
Yeah.
$52 million.
My God.
They extend the dorms at the Lenora Secondary School for $28 million. Well, President Ali live right there. So I'm going to have my reporter take a photograph and throw it in his face and ask him if this is how you spend the people's money. You know, Miss Harris, I got to send my reporters to check on these projects. And I will come back to you guys with the photographs.
Yes.
What these billions they said they're spending on schools to show you all. The cost to construct the Port Nursery School was $40 million, Miss Harris. Calcutta Nursery School was built at a cost of $33 million. Haslington Nursery School, $28 million. Number 36 Primary School, $42 million. You know, as they got 28, 33, 42, maybe it's a little more bigger hut. They're building for nursery school. Golden Grove School on the east coast of Demerara, $170 million. You want to hear this one?
Yes.
Kaieteur. Kaieteur, you know Kaieteur there?
I don't know that.
Region 8. Kaieteur. $1 billion. That is $100 million. This school in the bush, Miss Harris, began under the PPP at a cost of $900 million. When the people complain about the school, the new government, who go in after, went and spent another $100 million to finish it. Yes. $100 million for one school in the bush. Man, like when me call money here, this thing look like a monopoly
It's like
money.
monopoly money
Eh?
on schools.
It's monopoly, right?
And then when you see the schools, it's sickening. You
Yes.
want to vomit.
Yes.
Play money.
Camarang Primary School, $30 million. The Hoop Primary School, $46 million. Queenstown Nursery, $30 million. Canapang School, a little L-shaped matchbox, $61 million. You have those photographs there, man?
Yeah, and
Put them up online, let people see them, man.
they're playing.
Stella Maris Primary School, $56 million. Man, the extension for Bishop High School now is $108 million. The extension at Queen's College North Rheinveld Secondary School, Babondong. They're going to build it back at $622 million. Man, that gotta be a 6-story school for the Rheinveld students with a state-of-the-art elevator inside.
Smart computers.
Yes.
Everything.
Auntie and uncle, it's Friday, and I want to leave early. I am not talking out of my head about something I don't know or understand. I have built many buildings myself, so I understand costs. At present, I am building a multi-story building in the heart of Georgetown, and it think cost half the money them crooks does spend on schools.
Yep, facts.
So I know from first-hand experience that all of these projects are not small fraction, are not a small fraction of the price. Man, they are telling us, they are building schools at a price. And like I said, it's not a small fraction, Ms. Harris. It's below a small fraction of the cost they're telling this nation. If I am to equate them 600 or something million, you got to put the real cost in fractions. Yes.
Yes, it's true.
And they're telling the country they're building schools to educate our children. But you know the truth, Ms. Harris? You know the truth, what they're doing? They're educating your children how to thief, uncle. Yes, that is what they're doing when they put out these prices on these schools. Can we turn another page?
Yes.
In the encyclopedia of corruption in this country? The fire stations, the new headquarters building at Home Stretch Avenue. That one is being built to the tune of $614 million. That's a 6-story fire station they're building. The fire truck will be coming down from the top, from the 6th floor, yes, to the 5th, to the 4th, to the 3rd, to the 2nd, and then to the 1st floor, then onto the roadway. Yes. It's a sophisticated fire station they're building. One of the most modernized ones. They have them in New York, where the fire truck up top and running on. Yeah. 614 million.
Your tax-paying money.
Oh my God. The Eccles Nandi Park fire station where I live, $38 million. Look, it's on the page, man. Look at it. It's a flat building with a shed.
Yeah.
Sad.
One more fire station for Wales, $69 million. The Oval fire station they're building now is $76 million. This morning, Ms. Harris, I sent one of my guys to get a photograph. He come back and said I tell him he has to get media pass to go in for take a photograph.
Wow.
You don't hear me, Mr. Tony?
Yes.
So I sent back a reporter with her media pass. And they didn't allow her to go in. What are they hiding, uncle?
What do you mean?
Huh? What are they ashamed of? Huh? You hiding a whole fire station that you building from the media. Oh my God.
You guys sending drones.
Oh my God.
You gotta use drones.
You know, this remind me of the $69 million NIS flat building.
Yes.
Them renovate at quarantine. Me and Adam been there and lock the gate for me.
What was it? What was it? Improved seating
And
capacity.
Ashley Singh said, oh, yes,
The
yes,
improved seating
yes, they improved the seating capacity.
capacity.
Yes. And when you watch the seating capacity, it's some hardwood with nail up with some sponge
And then
or leatherette.
improved seating capacity.
All these things
War.
all these fire stations look like one flat house with a shed, and they cost hundreds upon hundreds of millions to build. The amount of fire stations them building, them gotta be catering for this world to end by fire. Yeah?
Yes.
Because I think the Bible mentioned that, right?
Yes.
One friend asked me why they're building so many fire stations and they don't have the fire engines. I tell my friend, hold on. Buying fire engines will give them more money to siphon off. That's going to be the next set of money they're going to thief 3/4 of. Oh my God. Wait, man, one by one going to be coming in and you're going to see the cost for them. Could we turn the page to the police station now?
Yes.
Yeah, man. The infamous Brickdam police station that was burned down. Them said of building an 11-story.
What?
Yes. And give us a price tag.
Oh boy.
A price tag. Man, I double check, I recheck, and I do all kind of in check and them check and he check and she check. To make sure them say $400 million
Yes.
for 11-story. So the thing got me head got me a little
I
baffled.
know.
You know?
There's a deal.
You know, no. Something baffling me here in my head here, man. Because if a little school
Yes.
can cost 700 and 800 and 1 billion,
Yes.
how this 11-story building, you know, I can't figure this thing. Gonna cost in the heart of Georgetown, cost 400 million. Or are they building a 10 feet by 10 feet 11-story building? Somebody forget a couple zero or what, man?
Maybe.
Behind the 400 million.
Maybe it's building with plywood.
Man, anyway, we can keep that one in mind because I still got to recheck and double check this thing, right? But I said 400 million for 11-story building.
Let that same person build all this.
Yes, exactly. If that is true and that is the case,
Yes.
that contractor should be given all the projects right across this country.
Yes.
Yes. Because that is extremely, he beat me. I can't build a 11-story for that money.
He's the only one going
Yes,
to you.
yes, yes. But something is wrong there. I got to double check it. But let's move to Providence Police Station. You guys who live on the east bank of the Demerara, $65 million for it. Look at it. Are you got your homes, man? Look at it.
We see it. We see it.
Rimveld Police Station. Over the river in Essequibo, $59 million. 1 million short 60, not true?
Yes.
If it's 59, 1 million short 60.
Yeah.
I ain't too smart, you know. With all these figures on me here, I'm confused.
It's confusing
You know?
me. I feel like I can't.
A correct man, 1 million short.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 million short 60. I should ask my grandson that. 1 million short, $60 million uncle. It is right in front of your eyes. You got to pass it to come to Georgetown from the East Bank, West Bank, or the Essequibo Coast and islands. 59 million about it. When you look at this thing, you want to know if these people put gold and diamond in them.
Everything is gilded.
A new police station for Region 8 was constructed in Madhya last year to the tune of $300 million. Oh gosh. You hear that? 300 million, man. Then there's one in Region 2 that was constructed last year too, to the tune of $200 million. You know, Miss Harris, I built that lockup in Stabrook Market 30 plus years now for criminals. You know, I pray to God Almighty, I don't have to build one for the politicians in this country.
No, we'll chuck them in that same one.
It's not going to cost me much. Having the construction knowledge, Ms. Harris, at 20 million will give me a beautiful jail for most of the politicians in this country. Not for all of them. You got someone to them upright and decent. This is the example of thieving these politicians set for police to follow. You know, you teach the children them how to thief by making school. You teach the firemen them how to thief making fire stations. Now you're teaching the policemen and women about thievery, how to build police stations. Contractors building 32 bridges in the interior for 3.2 billion. 3.2 billion. That is 16 million US dollar. 16 to 32. That is 3,200 million. You hear me? Like, you hear how much money that is?
Yes.
3,200 million. That's the kind of money for build bridges. And they say they're building the bridges to meet international standards. The roads they're building in the city, they're not telling you it will meet international standards. The roads and the bridges in the city, they're telling you 32 bridges will meet international standards for 16 million American dollars in the bush. Let me share this other story, man. I like to share them. I remember Robert Prasad, the then Minister of Agriculture, proudly announced $3 billion to build 27 bridges in Parika Bakdam and at the back of Denham, still on the west coast of Demerara. And when my reporter asked him to identify where they're building these bridges, oh, don't worry, man, I could take you guys to see them. He carried them in the Bakdam at Parika, showed them 2 spots, and said, he got urgent work to do back at office, and left one of the reporter for walk out the mud with your high heel. To this day, we don't know where the 27 bridges are or where the money is. This is Guyana. Beautiful Guyana. As for the roads, uncle, that's volume 2 and 3 of the Corruption Encyclopedia of Guyana. And I don't even want to talk about the sea defenses projects in the trillions. That is half of the corruption book alone by itself. I don't want to confuse y'all minds with what they're doing there to y'all, uncle. No, I don't want to do that to y'all on sea defenses and road projects. Both governments, uncle, if they can build schools, fire stations, police stations, bridges, if they can renovate hospitals, build dorms for that kind of money that y'all can see, all of us can see. have politician friends in high office, eh? When you want to rent your private property. That is what that tells you. The whole building mustn't even worth 1 year rent. Remember the 12.5 million a month drug ban in Albistown?
Oh, yeah. How can we forget?
The owner had bought the whole building for $25 million. Collect 2 months rent in advance. 1 month security. Don't make profit there. Right there. From the government. From we tax dollars. And the remainder, lifetime remainder is profits in his pocket. Joshua, let me end. It's going on too much, so let me end. I want to end by telling you people, those price tags they announce on those schools and the fire stations and the police stations and so on is not the final figure.
Of course not. It always goes up.
This is only one part of the crookishness,
Yes.
the scampishness and thievery that goes on with these projects. Let me tell you something that I know you never hear about. You ever hear about something called cost overruns?
Yes.
Yes. When they tell you the fire station, the police station bill for $85 million, that is not the final figure. By the time they're really done with the police stations, with every project,
Yes.
it raised another 85 million behind we back.
Wow.
With the same thing,
Yes.
cost overrun, that we never hear about and we never know. That is the sweet part of the joking you. Yes, the sweetest part of joking you. That part, the front part,
Yes.
is joking you in your eye with the price tag.
Right.
And the cost overrun is slapping you behind your head
Yes.
because you're stupid.
It's gone.
Yeah, man. They joke your boss in your eye. And then the cost run, they slap you behind your head for being stupid.
Yes. Be so dumb.
Uncle and auntie, fellow brothers and sisters, this is the money they're borrowing from overseas banks every year, paying fat interest rates on, but can't find a few million to increase the public servants' salaries so they can send their children, yes, their kids, to school with a belly full lunch kit.
Yes.
Of course, if they have a lunch kit. No, they can't do that. It's sad, eh, Miss Harris?
Yes.
With that, my friend, I say good night. God bless you guys. Enjoy your weekend, because I'm going to have an enjoyable night this evening because with Kiana as she celebrates her birthday.
All right, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
but we can take 2 calls.
You can call us this evening on 226-745-324 and strictly on WhatsApp on 622-2222 or 624-6456. Miss Harris is monitoring the comments on social media.
Let me hear some
So
comments.
if you can feel free to drop us those comments.
Yes.
Wow.
We'll respond to you accordingly.
Indeed. So comment section is very lively tonight. And I think a lot of people are agreeing with you that the cost for these projects are inflated and we don't get value for the money that we spend. Somebody saying, Colin said they build a good-for-nothing ophthalmology hospital at Port Morant with big money, they figure. You know anything about that one, Mr. Lal?
Man, like I told you, Miss Harris, if I'm to talk about everything,
So-
these are things that just come to mind, right? And figures we talk about. It will take you a year every single day,
To
whole
discuss
day and whole
them.
night. Good evening, you're live on the air.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
I got a few comments to make.
Go ahead.
With all due respect, you're
Yeah.
doing a wonderful job. for the Guyanese people, where you see daytime, don't take firewood for see nighttime. The Guyanese people are not clean and they will never learn. I went to the stadium Friday when was the opening, and only friends and family cheer the president when he speak. The other rest are the hundreds of people them sit on the chair. Wonderful know what's going on.
Yep.
Because when he talking, them not understand what really he say. But today, it's not easy with some of them. Some of them even got money to eat. The house lot that were in give people $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 cannot. Then even I got money for eat, most just for people for the land.
I hear you, brother.
So I don't know how they gonna build it.
I hear you.
Cruelty.
I hear
No
you.
matter how you try to break it down to some people, they mind just being one way.
No. Hold. I think you're getting a little mixed up though. Listen, my job is just to educate the people. My job is just to tell you people what's happening, my friend. And I'm trying to
No.
I'm trying to wait, you hold a second. It seems that you're upset with the people. I don't want you to get upset with them. If people doesn't know, they will not ask, they will not act, they will not stand up and speak up or speak out. So my job, our duty, like how you understand, you gotta call out your neighbor, you gotta call your friends when I sit down and chat like the fisherman and discuss these issues, what is happening, so that all of us can be on the same page. You see, the politicians them realize that they're dealing with a set of dummies, okay? And this is why they continue to take advantage on us. You know, I have said it and I'm going to say it again. I had stopped speaking to President Jagdeo since 2007 because of corruption, because of the school they built in Wakenham, an island where I come from. I let him know in no uncertain terms that his eyes passed this country, spending $55 million to build a L-shaped school, flat building in Wakenham, in my island, when that place could have built at the time for $11 million. You understand? I let him know that.
Yeah, but I understand, but me want to reach him, but I never get a chance for reach him, even at the president there, because I would have asked them.
Well, wait when they come around you. Don't wait for he. Wait, and when any one of them come around you, right? And you shoot the questions to them. Ask them what is going on. And when they will stop this wholesale, ask them when they will stop the wholesale thievery of your money, our money. It's your money they're thieving. At the end of the day, they're not only thieving the money, my friend, they're indebting all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have to pay the debts. These chaps borrowing on these loans and thieving out back for themselves.
Exactly.
Right. So these are the things you gotta shout to them and let them know.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, okay then.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, Miss Harris, you were saying
Yep.
something. Go ahead.
Someone says, Michelle says, tears for our children who are university graduates, yet they are unable to secure jobs with a living wage. This is one of the reasons so many PPP supporters have run out of Guyana and now residing in Queens, New York. The PPP is a wicked government.
This has nothing to do with PPP.
That's
This is
both
the Harley
sides.
government.
Well, exactly.
It's not PPP government alone. It's all of them.
Exactly.
The coalition with the AFC Benin, what they did.
Yep.
A matter of fact, honestly, they tried to outdo what the PPP government did in 23 years. They tried to outdo them in
They
in
go with
5 years.
gusto. So Gregory says, Guyanese, the 6 races of Guyana needs to put our political differences aside and hold our governments responsible, because at the end of the day, the palm tree, the red, black and gold cup, neither the key, cannot save us when our country starts to flood come 2030 due to global warming. We must bind together to rid our country of corruption and corrupt politicians. Last but not least, we must have our fair share. I love you, my Guyanese people. Please wake up. Our country, our wealth, not the Chinese, Americans, Exxon, or our corrupt politicians. Yes.
I fully agree.
Indeed.
I fully agree. You see, it's only, listen, the power is in the hands of the people of this country.
Yes.
And if people doesn't know, they will not speak.
Yes.
You understand? And that has been lacking in this land.
Yes.
Education has been lacking in this country. Many people do not understand.
Glenn,
You understand?
Glenn-
But slowly they're waking up.
Yeah,
Yes.
you see how they find how many hundreds of millions to build schools? Can they take a couple of millions to give the teachers better salaries? Isn't it the same thing? They want to build 8 or 5 new hospitals. You're going to build new buildings. What about, are you going to pay the nurses a proper salary so that they will work, you will attract nurses? Instead of our nurses going all around the world, to England, to Canada, to Africa, all to get a better pay. What sense it makes you build new schools, you build new hospitals, you don't pay the nurses and the teachers proper salary? Who will staff these hospitals and these
Well,
schools?
Precisely.
Well, the big international developed countries, they want your country to remain like this.
Yes, because
They want you pay the people peanut salary so they can run away. The smart ones can run away and develop their country. You understand? And you are left with the not so bright ones,
With the,
so that you
yes.
can develop yourself. And the politicians, on the other hand, continue to thief.
The politicians
And sell out the country.
love to keep people poor and stupid.
Exactly.
Once you keep
Exactly.
people poor and stupid, they keep them poor. They all they study where the next meal will come from.
Yes.
You keep them stupid. They don't see what they're going to see what you're doing, how you keeping the country back, because their pockets are full.
They
And it's
also-
all the politicians.
They also using another tactic that that Ms. Harris, you need to know. If they find you smart and you talkative and you exposing them, they will do everything to buy you out.
Indeed.
Right?
Like they buy a
Look,
sort of your
Yeah,
ex-prime
they
minister.
have they did that with reporters.
Yes.
They did that with commentators.
Yes,
They-
most of your reporters, yeah.
Yeah, they haul you in and say, "Come, what are you talking? Shut your mouth. Come here. Take a
Yes,
job.
take
Take
this."
this.
We give you this
Hold
extra
on to this contract. You know, and basically they silence you.
Right,
They
but,
do.
but you know, some of these commentators, they protest, oh, the people is not paying me, but I think they'll protest too much. When you keep on saying they're not paying me, they're not paying me, why you have to say they're not paying me all the time? Because you switch from one to the next, and you're defending them, you actually promoting them for the next 2025, and then you claim, oh, the people not paying me money. Well, I think they'll protest too much. That's what I say.
It's very sad.
Mr. Lal, can you elaborate some more on that good point you just made about silencing people, how they buy people's silence?
They buy you over.
Literally.
They buy you over. Look, it happened here at Kaieteur News. Then we carried a couple of reporters, and the reporters then realized that they're not stooge, and they can't do what they want them to do, meaning knowing what they do is the wrong thing.
Yes.
They run away.
Yep.
Right? Kiana, they wanted, Jagdi wanted Kiana. You know? Everybody that is an obstacle in their way,
Yes,
they buy them over, or they try to find some way to silence them.
Yep.
Yes.
It's true.
Oh, they would love if Glenlal shut him out
Well, I
tomorrow.
was just going to ask you that.
If Glenlal shut him out tomorrow, man, they take the whole Guyana.
Story
gonna ask you that.
done. Story
They
done.
may want to buy you as well.
Not that they have not
They'll take
tried.
the whole Guyana.
Yep.
But they can't, they are not in control of me. I am not even in control of my own self.
Yes.
Thank you.
The man above is in control.
Indeed.
He decides what I do. He decides how much breath I'm going to breathe tonight. He decides whether I'll wake up tomorrow. And this is what these people need to understand about life. You understand? You know, some people, Look, every day some friend text me and tell me something. Be careful. Glenn LALL, you're doing a good job. I'm like, what do I tell these people?
Tell us about the rich guy from Angola who he dropped dead.
Glenn, I'm going to toot you on for you. You're not the thing, but I'm going to toot you on for you. You are a man of integrity, sir. And there are very few of us left, but there are a few of us left. Right? Your integrity forces you not to be a sellout. Right? Right? We can't be part. Once you have integrity, there's no price to pay for your integrity. So you want to say that, I'll say it for you. You are a man of integrity, and there are very few of us left in this country.
You see, Bernard, if people understand life the way I do,
Yeah.
right?
It wouldn't even be a
listen, man,
decision.
Listen. When you understand, and I think Cheddy Jagan and a few other people had end up with that same philosophy.
Cheddy was a man of integrity.
Where if you understand that you don't know if you're gonna make it, you're gonna wake up tomorrow morning.
Right.
If you understand that you don't need much to live to eat 3 meals and to live a comfortable life, if you understand that you don't need a 10-story house with 20 bedrooms to live in, you don't need 50 Mercedes Benz once you have a little and you're comfortable, then why fight up for the world?
The basics.
Glenn, they said that the president of Uruguay, right? That guy, I think you have to do a special program on that guy. That is a man of the people. That guy that guy gave up the presidential cars, the fancy cars. I think he rode a bicycle, go to work, walk to work.
I know that.
That guy, that is a president. That's a man of the people.
Yeah.
I think he still has his old car.
He does, a Volkswagen.
So, Mr. LALL, I'm going to ask you, are there people like what you just described who are content with just the basic, like a Cheddy Jagan? Are there people like that today? That
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
share?
Yes, I know a few people who live like that, think like that, and who are like that.
Yeah.
Material things doesn't
Precisely.
full the eye.
Exactly.
And
Nelson Mandela also.
they don't, no, I'm talking about Guyana. Yes, Guyana, yes.
Would you say Super Sad would have been?
No. I wouldn't want to say that.
Okay.
And I wouldn't even call their names, but I know there are several people who communicate with me, and I understand. Yes, they are.
Okay.
There are some people who are very humble, who understand that
There's not humble people
the
who
journey of
understand
life.
that you don't need much,
Yeah.
right, in this life to live a comfortable
The
life.
word is content. They're contented with what they have. The basic 3 hots and a cot.
It's all about understanding, how much you understand life, my friend. And look today I told one of my staff, I had to remind the staff, I said, what is for you in this life? No man can add, subtract, multiply, or divide.
What God has for you is for you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when you understand that,
Yes, so true.
and I told Jagdev that since he was president.
And you don't have to fight.
Exactly.
You don't have to fight. It's yours.
Exactly. What is for me is for me.
Yes. And nobody can take that away.
Nobody, and I'm going to say that 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000,000 times.
Yes.
What is for Glenn LALL on earth,
Yes.
nobody can take it away.
True.
Nobody can add, nobody can delete, nobody can subtract, nobody can divide it.
Yes.
It is for me.
Right. But they can try to stop.
No.
They can try to stop it, but they won't
No,
stop
sir. No, sir. It means you don't understand what I'm saying. So let's move on. What is for me, sir. Full stop.
Your value as a human being is not what you have, it's how you treat other fellow human beings. It's
It
what
is.
values you have and what values you can pass on
Exactly.
to.
That's why I
Exactly.
really enjoy the namaste phrase. I used to use that before you started to use it on the program. Yoga. It means deeply that I recognize that which is sacred within you is sacred within me.
Exactly.
It means that I see you the way I see myself. I value you the way I value myself.
Exactly.
And I think the problem is that a lot of people don't have a spiritual connection to any kind of divine source.
Yeah.
People are just running around out here totally lost, totally devoid of
No,
any
no, no,
kind
no,
of
no. Some of these
connection.
politicians go to churches,
Which churches?
go to masjids and temples.
They worship Satan. I'm sorry. I don't believe any of them. They worship the God that we worship. And you might think it's a joke,
And
but the
Satan's
church,
a ba- but
the
Satan's a
church
bad
of
person?
Satan is a real thing.
Satan's not a bad person.
I don't care if he's good or
Satan
bad.
Satan
I'm
never
just
killed a
saying that's
single
what they
person in the Bible.
do.
God killed thousands of people in the Bible.
Well, we're not getting into all of that.
Satan's not a bad person. You're dead straight and Satan's a bad person.
All right then. Well, Bernard, you sound like you go to that same church. So let's move off the topic. Sorry if I've
Don't fight
offended
with me.
you.
Don't fight with me.
People worship who you want to worship. But I'm just
Don't-
saying that, you know,
don't
for us
fight
to
with me.
develop as a people, as a species, we need to have some kind of
No, we don't.
moral, spiritual
No, it's not
relationship.
religion.
Well, it's not a discussion we're going to have tonight.
No. Joshua, if that phone is not going to ring, we have to go. We have to go. I have fulfilled my part tonight,
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
The
Not
people
and
are
I am
with you.
happy.
Not only tonight, sir. You've
But
done
you
a
know,
stolen job.
people do not have, people can't say nothing much. Like one guy said,
Their
you know,
tongues are tied.
he would have called in, right? And the man called me back after the program and said, Glenn, when you done that,
What to say?
I don't know what to say. And I can understand them.
Yes, sir.
I can understand them. It's hard to, it's difficult. It's hard to swallow, you know, when these things are so glaring, you know. It's hard to imagine how you respond to your politicians, what names you call them. Bernard?
It seems like it doesn't matter. Glenn, one thing. This world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for even one man's greed.
It's true.
Tony Blair had said that. Tony Blair put it better than that. Tony Blair said, the cake of the world is more than enough for every inhabitant.
Uh-huh.
The man said, but it's not equally shared.
He should know. He's a
Right?
worker.
And he was a prime
We'll
minister.
move on.
But forget him. Look what's going on in this country. Some people have so much, and there are so many people suffering, not having enough to eat, enough to wear, and they have so much and they still want more, and they would rob those poor people to give to themselves and their rich friends and their rich cronies in America. It's like, it's sickening, man. It's sickening. Where's your humanity? They have not a shred of humanity in them. And you don't need a religion for that. As a human being, you have to value human life, right? So
Sure.
whether you worship who you worship, what or nothing you worship, if you have feelings for fellow human beings, that's all you need. When you see a fellow human being suffer, if you have been in that position, you suffer, you will want to do the best you can to make them not suffer. And I'll tell you what, Chetty Jagan the man was for the poor and for the working class people of this country. And what they have taken Chetty Jagan party and doing it, it's sickening what they're doing to Chetty Jagan's party. That's what I see.
Joshua, before I leave, before I say goodbye, somebody asked me to give a trailer on my program before I start. So I had a smile. I wanted to ask the guy if you think he come to listen to a movie. So I want to tell him, you want a trailer? Well, this is what I'll be talking about on Monday evening. I'll be talking about Mr. Sue.
Who?
Mr. Sue. Sue.
Where is it?
Who,
Where's
Sue?
Who is Sue?
Sue.
Where is
Mr.
Sue?
Sue. And I'll tell you where Mr. Sue is.
Puts out
And
the
I'll tell you a
Amber
lot of
Alert
things
for
about Mr. Sue that you never heard or you don't know. With that,
We're deeply intrigued.
enjoy your weekend. And I love you guys.
Namaste.
Namaste. Yeah, Monday, Matawag.